Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today's video is about an audio novel title, I Am the Fated Villain. I Am the Fated Villain Chapter 1. Young Lord Guchanga. Is this the true face of the Taishan Holy Land, one of the 6 sacred lands of the Eastern Desolate? You bully the weak to curry favor with the strong, and don't even feel ashamed for pushing your daughter into a pit of fire? From the beginning to the end, not once did you consider asking the Taishan Holy Maiden for her opinion. Today, I will ask for justice on her behalf. If staying quiet in the face of power is what it means to be a disciple of the Taishan Holy Land, then I don't want this discipleship. But please keep this in mind, Taishan Holy Lord, that I, Yi-chun, will surely return today's shame in the near future. Many people stood inside a glorious hall and listened to the angry roars of a young disciple. A sturdy-looking youth with a handsome face, an unyielding aura, and clenched fists stood in the center of the hall and indignantly roared towards a platform in front of him. He was Yi-chun, an inner sect disciple of the Taishan Holy Land. What audacity! How dare a mere inner sect disciple dare confront the Holy Lord? You must be tired of living. Next to the youth stood an inner sect elder with a terrifying aura. The elder's complexion had long turned ugly as he fumed with rage and wanted to shut this disciple's trap with a single slap. How could they allow a measly inner sect disciple to run wild in the Holy Lord's hall of their Taishan Holy Land? After all, they were one of the 6 major forces of the Eastern Desolate. Worse still, today was the day of the Taishan Holy Sun's coronation, and they had invited many small and large forces to witness the event. Everyone stood and watched the farce inside the hall. Had it not been for him trying to save face for the Holy Land, the elder would have already slapped this ignorant chump of a disciple to death with a single slap. In the Holy Lord's hall, a group of inner sect disciples and guests from afar pointed towards Yi-chun and whispered about the show he put up in front of them. The look in their eyes, as they watched his determined expression, was similar to what one would have when they watched a monkey show. Did this Yi-chun lose his mind? Where did he get the guts to spew all that nonsense in the Holy Lord's face? What a fool! His strength is among the better inner sect disciples, and I had heard that an elder wished to take him in as their true disciple, but it seems that's gonna be out of the question now. Some of the onlookers couldn't help but sneer. I think he really wants to die today. Once that young lord is angered by him, I worry that our entire Taishan Holy Land might get implicated. The true disciple who said this was enraged and worried. If this Yi-chun somehow angered that mysterious young lord, he estimated that the Holy Land wouldn't suffer his wrath alone. The entire Eastern Desolate might get swept up in the storm. It was because of these thoughts that the disciples' desire to personally stomp Yi-chun had soared. The elders of the major powers who had come for the coronation ceremony were all looking forward to the situation's escalation. Of course, almost everyone regarded the inner sect disciple named Yi-chun as a monkey performing a good show. What else could a mere inner sect disciple be, if not a monkey, when he tried to confront the Taishan Holy Lord himself? You are Yi-chun, right? I remember you. You are from a small place in the Azure territory. After crossing through 100 dynasties, you finally became a disciple of my Taishan Holy Land. Now you are telling me that you want to renounce your identity as a disciple of my Taishan Holy Land? At this time, a middle-aged man quietly sitting at the main seat on the platform spoke up. His deep as the sea eyes opened, and one could see breathtaking divine rays of golden light flickering through them. The golden light changed into an aura and flowed around his figure as a terrifying pressure descended upon all those standing in the hall, showing his anger and majesty. It was obvious that the person was a supreme master. He was none other than the Taishan Holy Lord, and as soon as he spoke up, the entire hall fell silent. The guests who came to observe the ceremony also quietened down. Ugh! Yi-chun felt a powerful aura suppress his being, and cold sweat dripped down his forehead. But even then, he wasn't going to be subdued. His confidence at this time couldn't be shaken. Holy Lord, I merely want to ask for justice for the Holy Maiden. I can't watch her fall into a pit of fire like this. Yi-chun's words were full of confidence and righteousness, backed by his dauntless spirit. While speaking, Yi Chen's gaze unconsciously fell upon a woman in front of him. The woman had graceful and gorgeous features, with eyes that rippled like autumn water and willow-like eyebrows. She was garbed in a green dress made of exquisite silk. Her bright, lovely face shimmered under the light. Not a single speck of dust could be seen on her fluttering dress. Her ethereal and calm temperament was difficult to put into words. She was like a fairy who had accidentally descended from the ninth heaven. From beginning to end, her expression hadn't changed no matter what transpired in the hall. Pit of fire? What bold words! Hearing his words, the Taishan Holy Lord's expression sank. It was at this time that a lot of people came to a realization, and their expressions turned weird, too. Turned out that all the nonsense Yi Chen spewed was out of his feelings of dissatisfaction and indignation over another man stealing away the stunning holy maiden he had adored for a long time. Although many other disciples were also jealous and unwilling to watch their holy maiden fall into the hands of an outsider, they didn't have the guts to bark it out in public like Yi Chen. They weren't retarded like him. After all, the identity of that young lord was so esteemed that not even the Taishan Holy Lord dared to neglect him, nor show disrespect to him. At this moment, the onlookers looked towards the youth who had been quietly sitting next to the Taishan Holy Lord, drinking his tea without a care for anything that went on in front of him. He was Gu Chang'e.